It's 6 o'clock, so we will go ahead and get started. Welcome to everyone who is joining us tonight for our school board meeting of July 13th. Before we get started, I just wanted to mention that Lynn Eaton, our school director from District 2, has formally resigned her position, so she will no longer be on the school board. We want to thank her for her time and all of the efforts that she has put in. She came onto the school board during COVID and was here during a very challenging and trying time, as well as working to hire our new superintendent. So she has been an invaluable board member, and we appreciate the time that she's put in, and she will be greatly missed. We'll have more information forthcoming about plans for filling that position in probably the next few weeks, and we'll make sure to get that information out to the public as soon as we know it. All right, so with that, I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Bob. So if you'll join me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag for the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you very much. Moving on to item 2 on our agenda, which is the adoption of the agenda. Have board members had a chance to look over the agenda? And if so, is there any discussion or a motion?
I move that we accept the agenda for this evening.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the agenda for July 13th. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, we have adopted the agenda. So moving on to item 3, which is the community comment section of our meeting. I'll go ahead and read our community comment statement. As part of the regular school board meeting, the board invites community members to make public comments in person and or by phone as conditions allow by calling the phone number posted on our website and entering the meeting ID number. Our public comment procedure allows each person 3 minutes to speak, and comments will be heard during the 2 community comment periods as listed on the agenda. In accordance with the open public meetings, allowed to discuss items that are not on the agenda. The board may direct the superintendent to follow up on certain items that arise during public comment if appropriate. As with in-person meetings, public comments received in writing or by email will not be read aloud, but will be directed for follow-up where appropriate. Please be mindful of how you present your testimony, as the board will not allow complaints against an individual staff member or student in open session unless that individual has requested an open public hearing. Please state your name before speaking. All right, so it is summertime and I see we have a very small group and that no one has called in, which is to be expected. We'll have another comment section at near the end of the meeting after the superintendent's report. So is there anyone who would like to make public comment at this time? All right, so not hearing any takers, so we will go ahead and move on to item 4, which is reports and recognitions. And we're going to start out with item 4.01, which is the monthly update on the Met Academy. David, welcome. We're looking forward to your update.
Thank you, and hello to the board and new Superintendent Jesse. Good evening to everybody. I'm going to share my screen. And it looks like I'm sharing. I'm going to start my PowerPoint here. Try to start my PowerPoint here. Come on.
You can press F5.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. It's not going to let me. Oops. Function. There we go. So I thought I would, since we have a new face or two here, I thought I would back up on and just give a little bit of historical information about our MET project that is rising as we speak. I don't want to go too far into the entire program because that's better left to Dina and others. But I just wanted to kind of show the new superintendent what this will look like eventually, and not too far from now, in just a little over a couple of months. This is what the building that's now got a lot of steel columns, steel framing, and a lot of other things is going to look like. This is the new 3,500 plus square foot MET 1 building. This is the first phase. And this is what will house what is called the Core Plus facility. These are basically core skills that are going to be learned in this part of the building that will get people ready for get them ready for the work world. And the next slide I have here is what the inside of the building is going to look like. These are stations that are various technical training tools. Each station is a different kind of a technical area. You see here the electrical control, applied electrical control center. There are pneumatics and various trades and various skills. And I believe there's a total of about 16 different skills that are going to be in this Core Plus facility that get these kids ready for get them ready for their careers. The yellow things you see overhead, those are cord reels, and they drop down electrical cords, and so this is really a hands-on experience. This gets them really working right in what they're going to be doing in their careers. So this is just kind of a quick view of what it looks like inside, and you see lots of windows, lots of overhead doors that allow them to work both inside and outside. That's the way this program is designed to work. And I think it's really going to be a beautiful program, as well as a really nice building to get the first phase of this going. So let me talk a little bit about where we are in the construction project. We started construction in April, and this is a fairly small budget to get this first phase kicked off. This first construction phase contract is a $2.6 million construction project. Right now, we've had very few change orders. We're at under 2% in change orders. And where we say we're 25% complete in construction, we're actually a little farther than that now. We've really made some strides just in the last 3-4 weeks. And I project that we're going to finish at about 4% above the bid amount, which is just right where we want to be. So that puts us right on target with respect to where the budget should be. And the second line there is the budget plus the sales tax added in. Good old Uncle George Washington there, adding his 8.8%. And then down at the bottom is our construction schedule, just an overview of the timeline. Our original contract completion date was September 24th. We did have a little glitch right at the start that we found a asbestos water line that we didn't know was there, and that set us back right at the start and took a chunk of our float time that we purposely built into the schedule. That we have that colored yellow because that does impact the original completion date, but it's yellow because it doesn't impact our planned start date, or the program start date, which is actually much later than that. So we'd planned for stuff like this. So this is no big deal. And we intend to make this up along the way anyway. And now that we're moving to getting into the building, that's where we can really make up the time that we've lost on our float portion of it anyway. So where we are right now is right where we wanted to be. If you haven't been by the site, please take a drive by. It looks very different than it did a couple of weeks ago. And do be prepared to go through the sewer construction site, though, that's crossing Shelton Springs Road. You'll be driving on the bike path. So that's one of the byproducts of having to put these kinds of things in. You do have to go off site to do a little work. So it's going well, as it has been since the very start, all the way through planning, design. Construction is now going very well as well. It's a great team, and I'm very happy to be part of it. And I'd field any questions anybody has about how we're doing, anything that's going on at this point, what to expect. I'm yours.
All right. Any questions for Dave?
No questions from me. I have driven past a few times, so I am seeing the progress as it goes, which is pretty exciting. Just want to say thank you for the update.
You're very welcome.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We'll look forward to chatting with you next month.
All righty. Thank you.
All right. So moving on to item 4.02. This is the May 2021 Budget Status Report with Brenda Trogstad.
Okay. I have to wait for David to stop sharing his screen. So there we go. Okay, let me get mine up here. Good evening, President Carr and School Board. I'm pleased to report the May 2021 budget status for you at this meeting. As you remember, we delayed it by a meeting because our previous board agenda was so full. So on general fund, you will see that our balance went down a little bit. May is our lowest apportionment month for the year. It's a 5% apportionment month, so this is typical. So we are ending at a $2,210,819 even in general fund for May. Capital projects fund, the May balance ended at $275,117. And on June 1st, we did receive non-high payments, so you'll see that go up for next month for the June report. Debt service fund May balance was $3,846,022.55. We did make bond payments on June 1st, so in June. Student body fund stays pretty steady at $446,896.64. Transportation vehicle fund is at $251,037.32. We did take delivery of the bus we purchased with the grant, so you will see a payment go out in June for that. The scholarship funds, we did make a scholarship payment out of the Drake scholarship, so that is down a little bit at $207,797.07. We also made a payment out of Mike Johnson Memorial Scholarship, so that's at $3,173.55. And Bolt Memorial is at $25,697.18 for a total in the private purpose trust fund of $236,667.80. Are there any questions?
All right. Seeing none, thank you very much for the update for May. And are we going to be doing, were we planning on doing June at the end of this month also to catch up?
We're going to try. The person that does my entries has the month of July off, so I'm giving it my best shot at the next meeting. So if not, it'll be the first. We'll do a double the first meeting in August. So
perfect. All right, thank you. So item 4.03, which is the status update for next year's school budget, with Brenda. I know you've had some fun working on this.
Right. So I did pull an extract. I was hoping it would come through right before this meeting started so I could give you the exact numbers, but I've got, some information here. And of course, I'll be sharing more details before we come through. The extract takes over an hour to pull in, so I did it around 4:30 and it still hasn't come through. I've been kind of sitting here watching it, but what I was working on today in general fund was adding the ESSER revenue and expenditures, so that increased our revenue and expenditures quite a bit. So we're running about 73 million on both sides due to that federal money in there. All of my edits are clean in all of the funds, so that's a good place to be right now. It's just the final little pieces going in. Transportation Vehicle Fund got sent up to WSIPSI to try to figure out what was wrong with it not importing, and they never did figure it out. So I did a manual entry into the OSPI side, and it wasn't bad because it was only a few numbers. I can tell you Wyeth is anxiously awaiting seeing this budget also. So we've been talking quite a bit about budget. So as soon as I can get it, I'm hoping to submit it actually to ESD tomorrow. They've been very gracious because of that transportation vehicle fund not coming in. So, but I'm hoping to get it submitted tomorrow, and then I'll be getting some detailed information out to you. So.
All right, thank you. Questions for Brenda? All right, well, thank you very much. So that takes care of reports and recognitions. We're going to move on to item 5, which is the consent agenda. We have minutes. We have some proposed overnight travel for students. I think that's the first time in a really, really, really long time that we've seen that. So that's sort of exciting, as well as warrants and personnel report. Is there any discussion around the consent agenda, or do we have a motion?
No discussion from me. I too was excited to see that there was some student travel in there. So I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Can I get a second for that? Sally, it's to you. It's just the three of us
Yeah, I
tonight.
was going to say it's just Sally. And maybe I'm not sure if she's having technical difficulties because she had to take herself off camera.
I guess I can second. Second. All right, so it's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Yeah, maybe try to contact her because I think in order for this to be a valid, we need 3.
We need 3. All right, so I'm gonna take myself off mic for just a second. The joys of technology. So we're going to take just a brief time out as we see if we can get a quorum. So thank you for your patience. In the meantime, I would like to welcome our new superintendent. I was going to wait until before his superintendent's report, but Wyeth Jesse is joining us for his very first school board meeting. Welcome, Mr. Jesse. We're very pleased to have you here.
Thank you, Board President Carr. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's really exciting to be here. And yeah, I got some comments to make and some things to discuss. And as you can hear from Brenda, we're just closing up. There's, it's been a lot of details still closing up over the course of July and as well as August. So it's exciting times when we look forward to the 21-22 school year.
Hey, Sally B, are you there?
I'm here. I couldn't hear anybody. Is
We can hear you now, so that's good
you
news.
can?
Yes.
Okay.
Woo. We're getting ready to adjourn. We were thinking, wow, we've done it, Carrie and I.
It was just like people were talking. I couldn't hear anything. I see the mouths moving.
All right. Well, we just looked at the consent agenda. And we're ready to take a vote to approve. Are you okay? Have you had a chance to look at the consent agenda? You're all good with taking a vote?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay. So all those in favor of approving tonight's consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. So we've approved the consent agenda. Thank you very much. All right. So moving on to item 6, discussion and action items. We have several here. Most of these are pretty straightforward. First one is 6.01, which is the proposed awarding of the 21-22 fuel bid. So Brenda.
Good evening again. It's that time of year to do our fuel bid. We actually had 5 bidders this year, which is pretty good. We haven't had that many in the past. So we have a new vendor we're recommending. It's called PetroCard. They actually bid below the rack price into the negative. And so we will be saving money this year based on this bid. So I recommend you approve the bid for PetroCard.
All right. So any questions? I see there's a couple that bid below.
Mm-hmm.
How can they even do that? I mean, I'm not arguing with it, but
I don't know. I'm happy with it though.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
I move that we approve item 6.01.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the 21-22 fuel bid. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we have a fuel bid. So more of the same. 6.02 is the proposed dairy bid.
So the dairy bid, we weren't as fortunate. We just have one bidder, but we're very happy with that. Dairy Fresh Farms we've used for years and they do an excellent job. So I would like to recommend that you award the bid to Dairy Fresh Farms for 21-22.
All right, so any questions or discussion around the dairy bid?
Nope. I'll move that we approve the Dairy Fresh bid 6.02.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the dairy bid for the 21-22 school year. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we have a dairy bid. So item 6.03, this is another bid looking to replace one of the boilers at Olympic Middle School. So Robert.
Good evening, President Carr and members of the board. This evening, we are respectfully requesting that you allow us or to award the bid so we can contract with Sharp Mechanical, who is the low bidder for the boiler at $151,450. And they are a known contractor that we've used and worked with in the past, and they do good quality work and have a great reputation. And so we respectfully request your approval.
All right, so any questions for Robert about the bid to replace the boiler?
I move that we approve 6.03 to replace the boiler at OMS.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to award the bid for replacing the boiler at OMS. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, so we have the bid for the boiler. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
So item 6.04, we have a lengthy list of items to be declared surplus. So Brenda.
So in your board packet, you have the list of quite a few technology items. I believe we have about 5 pallets wrapped, ready to go over to the state surplus for them. And then a list of that came in from the buildings of items they wanted to declare surplus for a sale that Robert's department will be doing very late in the summer. So I would like to recommend that all these items be declared surplus.
All right. So any questions for Brenda to be declared surplus or any discussion?
Nope. I'll move that we approve the proposed list of items to be declared surplus, 6.04.
Second that.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to declare the list of items as surplus. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. So we have a list of items to go ahead and go to surplus. Thanks, Brenda. And now we have several items, several resolutions to look at. First one is item 6.05. This is proposed resolution number 2105, which is authorization of facsimile signature. So Brenda.
So all of these resolutions you're going to hear next allow YF Jesse as the new superintendent to do the roles that he needs to do. So every time we get a new superintendent, this is the process we have to go through. So your first one you have here allows the electronic signature on all our payroll and accounts payable warrants. So that's what this one will be approving.
All right. Any questions for Brenda about resolution 2105?
My question is it pertinent to do each one of these individually or do them as a group?
Probably could roll through them pretty quickly individually, just since
Okay.
Each of them has to do with a lot of money kind of stuff. So I think
Okay.
it's probably a good idea to do them individually.
Then I move that we approve item 6.05.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve item 6.05, resolution number 2105. Is there any further discussion?
No.
Right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, so resolution number 2105 has been approved. So item 6.06 is the proposed resolution number 2106, which is authorization of warrant signature.
So this one just tags on to the one you just approved. It gives the additional authority to sign all of the payroll warrants and the accounts payable warrants for the dollar amounts that we submit.
Okay, great. Any questions or further discussion?
Nope, these all sound important. So Sally, I'll just go back and forth with you. I'll move that we approve the proposed resolution 2106, authorization of warrant signature.
Oh, I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2106. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so resolution 2106 has been approved. Item 6.07, this is proposed resolution number 2107, designation of auditing officers.
So this resolution designates Superintendent Jesse and myself as the auditing officers for any payables for the school district.
All right, questions for Brenda around this one?
I move that we approve 1-07 designation of auditing officers.
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2107. Is there any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, so resolution 2107 has been approved. So item 6.08, this is proposed resolution number 2108, designation of district agent.
So this allows Superintendent Jesse to sign all of our grants, all of our enrollment reports, anything we submit to the state, federal government, county, or city. So.
All right. Any questions or discussion around item 6.08?
No, again, all of this is pretty clearly important. So I move that we approve 6.08, the proposed resolution 21-08 designation of district agent.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 2108. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, so resolution 2108 has been approved. So last one, item 6.09, proposed resolution number 2109, authorization to invest funds.
So I just spotted an error on this. So with your permission, I would like to have Allison correct it before your signature. It still has the year 2014, 2015 listed in it. So we need to change that. But this gives the authorization to Superintendent Jesse and myself to invest all of our funds with the state investment pool every month that we do. So.
Okay, any questions or discussion around this item?
Would we go ahead and move to accept this with corrections?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I move that we accept resolution number 2109 with corrections as mentioned.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2109 with proposed corrections. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 All right, resolution 2109 with corrections has been approved. So thank you very much. Thanks, Brenda, for getting that all together for us. So we'll move on to item 7, which is our superintendent's report. Again, welcome, Mr. Jesse, to the Shelton School District, your very first superintendent's report. We're many, many more in the future.
All right, there we go. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Board President Carr. I want to start off by thanking the other school board members that for this opportunity to be the superintendent of the Shelton School District. Really brings me a lot of excitement. And I, so far, based on what I witnessed, I can see why this is a special place. Really, the people that I've run across are really warm, friendly, and just give me an overall sense of a great community. I'm also had a chance to set up some meetings with some families and local leaders. I've been also meeting with some of the principals. And I also think what makes this place special is we got hardworking staff who want to work and team together and are committed to our students. And so I really think we can propel this district for where we have our vision and move us forward to getting outcomes for our students. So with that, I'm just really pleased to be here. Currently, I just really been catching up on a number of details. Leading a school district requires me to get into things like facilities, where the district had responded specifically to the pandemic, school improvement plans, student data, and things like board policies. So those are just a few of the details that I've been digging into. We have a number of things to look at as we prepare for the 21-22 school year and beyond. I also, like I said, I've been meeting with folks. I'll continue to do that this month and in the next month. A lot of people to meet. When I do meet with them, I'm really there to mostly listen to find out, what's going well, what isn't going well, and what can I or we do differently. So I'm always looking for ideas. From my perspective, I think the transitions in senior leadership has gone well. I want to congratulate and thank Dr. Alex Apostle for his leadership for the district. It's evident that he gave a lot of attention and energy to this school district over the course of his 6 years. Very well respected, even given all the change that he helped lead along with the school board over those years. So if Dr. Apostle's listening, and I kind of hope he's not, because I want him to enjoy his retirement, but I just wanted to, and I did talk to him today, so I didn't, these handoffs are really important. And for someone like Dr. Apostle, who's wrapping up the course of a long storied career, it's just been really good. And so I'll continue to work with him, because these are really important to carry on the work the right way and just be evident of what has happened in the past and what currently is taking place. So with that, I had also worked with him about during that transition and agreed that we should promote Brenda Trogstad from the Executive Director of Business and Operations to the Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations. Brenda has been here for a number of decades, moved up in the ranks, did all the detailed work. That's what we would like for any healthy organization, including here in the Shelton School District, and to be rewarded for her work. She has been operating and overseeing so many departments, and along with the other staff, helped lead us through that pandemic. Not an easy task at all. And just again, excited for her to continue in her leadership here. I would just want to be really clear about, again, why we would want a promotion, and I think Dr. Apostle nailed it, just even from my own perspective, is that, we're going along and we're meeting compliance, but if we're going to be truly strategic in our operations and provide the oversight that I believe is necessary, you do need another set of eyes in that capacity. Brenda can do that, but she can also get into the weeds on every line item across every department for every school. That is not going to provide the capacity that we need to do things in business here in this district, both short-term and long-term. So again, really excited to have Brenda. She's here. So congratulations again, Brenda, to you. And we're very fortunate to have you. I also just would like to have an opportunity to just give you a quick update regarding the pandemic. I just want to make a full announcement. We are open for business for the 21-22 school year. Our doors are open across our 8 schools. Really excited to invite everybody back. And in a general sense, we will have those operating hours like we did pre-pandemic. There are a number of things and guidance that's been provided out there by recently. The CDC just released some new information, and there's always updates from our own state agencies. For the most part, we get a lot of our information about how schools should operate from the Washington State Department of Health. So we'll continue to look at that guidance, give information updates when and where appropriate. Right now, we're just really sitting on the information that we have, which is that at the school sites, students and staff will have to wear masks, that when they recommend that there's social distancing from 3 to 6 feet, that further we have our ventilation, been assured that we've gone through all our buildings and that our ventilation system has been checked. I can personally attest to the air is flowing 24 hours a day. And clean and disinfectant, that continues as well as just our response and reporting. So we work also with here in Mason County with our own health board, just making sure that they receive the appropriate information as well. So I just kind of, again, study where the state agencies are at, any adjustments they make. If anything we've all learned from this pandemic, don't anticipate things to just stay steady. There will be likely some new changes, whatever they are. Again, it will be very dependent on the timing because we want to make sure that we give updates to our families, our staff, the entire community, again, through different mediums that keep them informed so they're ready to start school on September 1, which is really exciting. With that all, I just want to say a special thank you to Robert Heron. Robert's done tremendous work, working 7 days a week, 15 hours a day, much of the time, him and his crew and other staff. So I just wanted to say a special thank you to Robert, also for his leadership. It's not an easy job at all, and I know the overall wellness. I hope Robert gets some time this summer and take a break. So I know he's listening. So Robert, we'll talk more. So with that, I just hand it back. I just thank you again. Really excited to be here in the Shelton School District, a special place, and look forward to working with all of you and the rest of the community to best serve our students and our families.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jesse. Appreciate your report. So we're going to move on to item 8, which is our second opportunity for community comments. So if you would like to make a community comment, now would be the time. I am not seeing anyone has called in. I'll do a long teacher pause here and we'll see if anyone wants to call in and make a community comment. All right, well, we'll go ahead and move on then to item 9, which is board member comments. So Sally Brownfield, you're at the top of my list tonight. So why don't you go ahead and go first?
Well, I don't have a lot tonight, but again, welcome to Wyeth. So glad you're here and getting to know our community. And also congratulations and a thank you to Brenda. She's continues to give us so much stability and consistency in the work of the district, and it's greatly appreciated. We know that we have many very dedicated people in our district office and throughout our district that go above and beyond to really make our district what it is and to make sure those services to our children and our families happen, not just during the school year, but all year long. So very, very important. Beyond that, as a WASDA board member, a few things. I'll be attending a retreat here soon and continue as their equity committee chair. We're doing a lot of work around that. And WASDA 2 has been building, and their building is complete now and open. So we have a brand new facility over there. And something for us to look forward to, our fall regional meeting will be held in Shelton. So we need to decide at some point here pretty soon where that will be, if it will be at the Mountain View or the high school. We talked about this before and it got put off because of COVID. And now, since that time, the high school is totally finished. So I have it at Mountain View. Maybe that facility is larger, but let's show them what Shelton School District has to offer. So I'm excited about that. Otherwise, my life is all about early learning with just rebuilding. COVID has, it doesn't matter. I think it has had a deep affect in so many different ways that people don't even realize. It's like, okay, let's just open now. And it's not quite that easy. And I am so thankful and glad that our district, they didn't have that many people leaving and we're fully staffed, because I'll tell you what, the early learning community is really suffering from people leaving the field and yeah, just not coming back. So across the country. So we are willing to get back from this to help get those kiddos ready for school. So um, so that's about it for me. Just keep, working to do everything we can for kids.
All right. Thank you, Sally. Carrie.
Yes, and Sally said so many great things, but I too would like to welcome the new superintendent, Jesse. It was very nice meeting with you this afternoon as well. I really appreciate that you're taking the time to meet individually with community members, families, staff, your board members. And I know that we will be having a kind of a retreat or study session soon too with the whole board, so that we can all have a chance to talk with each board member. So I just am really looking forward to getting to work with you and, seeing how things develop. I'm very excited about just the different conversations that we've had and the plans that you've shared. So I think that this is just going to the next year and how this is all going to go. And congratulations, Brenda. I echo what Sally said. You definitely have been involved in so many different things. So your expertise, your consistency, and just generally always having a wonderful attitude. You stay very steady, and we've definitely been through some difficult times. So definitely appreciate that. And Robert, I do hope you can take some time off, because if you're still working 7 days a week, I'm, make sure we get you some time off too. And I know that there's so many people, like Sally said, that are working very hard in our school district, because it doesn't just stop when school is out. So I appreciate all of the effort that you are putting in. I know that our students are going to be so excited to start school next year and really get to fully utilize our new facilities and just be, able to be in person with their teachers and their friends again. So thank you all for the work that you're putting into that. That's really all I have to say. I guess one thing that Sally reminded me of, though, I know that we are able to sign up for the WASDA meeting that's in the fall. And we may at some point want to reach out to those people who have signed up as candidates, since they are running unopposed, to see, if there's an advantage to reserving things early. We could definitely take a look into that too. So just wanted to put that out there, and that's it.
Great. Thank you, Carrie. So along those same lines, I wanted to congratulate Brenda. It's very exciting, and we're very pleased to have you in that position. You've done such a marvelous job for many years for the district. We won't talk about how many. It's been very many, and we appreciate you moving up into this position. As Sally and Carrie both said, you provide a lot of consistency and just your wealth of knowledge of our district and how we operate, as well as all the relationships you've developed with staff and district office and teachers and principals, all very, very important and well-deserved. So congratulations. I did want to remind board members, if you haven't had a chance, to let me know about dates that work for you for a retreat with Wyeth. If you could do that, I sent an email this weekend. The holidays are starting to run together for me a little bit, but I sent an email this weekend, I believe. So if you could let me know what days work best for you, that would be great. We'll go ahead and get that scheduled. I'll also be working on here getting our board self-assessments that we do every year. We usually do that in the summer. And so I need to work on getting that out. So hopefully here, maybe before the end of July, getting that out to all of you. So once that's out, if you could take a few moments to do that, that's part of, it's just good for us to do that every year. And also it's part of our application for Board of Distinction if we decide to do that again this year. So that will be coming along. All right, with that, we do not have need for an executive session, so we'll move on to item 11, which is adjournment. I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we stand adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here tonight for our short meeting, and we will see you all again in a couple weeks.